Friends, this is Pastor Terry McCarthy from United Lutheran Seminary. For these days of Lent, as I stated yesterday, and the last couple of days, I am taking time each day to share with you passages from Henry Nouwen's book, The Life of the Beloved. And I'm taking time to reflect on some of these passages and share prayer with you around them as a Lenten discipline. Today we continue to learn, in the prologue of the book, we continue to learn about Henry Nouwen's relationship with this journalist who came to interview him. And in their interaction, Nouwen senses his somewhat disinterest in actually doing the interview and learns that really it's just about his job. But it's not really what he desires. He truly desires to be a novelist. And I want to share with you Nouwen's ability to hear him, ability to empathize with his desire to do something more with his life, and to empower him, ability to see him as a human being with gifts to offer others and with ambitions and desires, and to fulfill what he really would like to contribute to society. So I'll continue some of what Nouwen writes here. As he finds out that Fred, the journalist, does not feel that he has the time or the talent, perhaps, or the money to devote to becoming a novelist. And Nouwen writes, "By now I'd become angry at him, at society, and to some degree at myself for letting things just be as they are. I felt a strong urge to break down all these walls of fear, convention, social expectations, and self-deprecation, and I blurted out to Fred, 'Why don't you quit your job and write your novel?' Fred said, I can't. But Nouwen kept on pushing him. 'If you really want it, you can do it. You don't have to be the victim of time and money.' At this point, I realized that I had become involved in a battle I was determined to win. He sensed my intensity, and Fred replied to Nouwen, 'Well, I am just a simple journalist, and I guess I should be content with that.' And then Nouwen insists, 'No, you shouldn't,' Nouwen said. 'You should claim your deepest desire, and do what you really want to do. Time and money aren't the real issue.' He asked, 'What is?' Fred asked, 'What is?' And Nouwen replied, 'You are. You have nothing to lose. You are young, full of energy, well-trained. Everything is possible for you. Why let the world squeeze you in? Why become a victim? You are free to do what you want, if that is, you really want it.' He looked at me, Fred looked at Nouwen, with increasing surprise, wondering what it was that had gotten him into this bizarre conversation. 'Well,' Fred said, 'I'd better go. Maybe one day I will write my novel.' I stopped him, not wanting to let him off so easily. I didn't want to let him go. I realized that my own convictions were at stake. I believe that people can make choices and make them according to their own best aspirations. I also believe that people seldom make these choices. Instead, they blame the world, the society, and others for their fate, and waste much of their life complaining. But I sensed, after our short verbal skirmish, that Fred was capable of jumping over his own fears and taking the risk of trusting himself. I knew also, however, that I had to jump first, before he could. Nouwen realized this, and so I said, 'Fred, give up your job, and come here for a year to Yale, and write your novel. I will get the money, somehow.' While Fred initially, Nouwen goes on, Fred initially objected, just because he was a Jew and not a Christian. It was a Christian seminary. Nouwen continued to insist, and Nouwen continues to write. 'You can do what you'd like here,' saying to Fred. 'People here will love having a novelist in the house, and meanwhile you can learn something about Christianity and Judaism too.' And Nouwen continues that a few months later, Fred came to Yale Divinity School, spent a year there trying to write his novel. It was never written, but we became close friends. And today, many years later, I'm writing this book as a fruit of that friendship. I was struck by this story many years ago, and I still am, of how Henri Nouwen was able to sense what Fred truly desired and sense his role and took possession of it and took the courageous and risky and passionate step of saying, no, you can do this. And I have the resources to try to help make this happen. And I will do everything I possibly can to help you, Fred, make this happen. And write you, a non-practicing Jew, to a seminary, Christian seminary environment where you can be, and I see that you can be, a resource to us. Henri Nouwen took this risk. And I wanted to share that story with you. Let us pray. Lord, empower each of us to see the best in others, to see where they are frustrated, to see what they have to offer to the world. Lord, empower us to take the risk, to put ourselves at risk by offering ourselves to them, by even becoming passionate about it, doing whatever we can to walk with them in their journey and to assist them, to use the gifts God gave us to assist others and to be present with others and to journey with others. These gifts and these opportunities have also at times been presented to us, Lord, and we thank you for them. We thank you for friends who have encouraged us, who have provided us with resources, who have affirmed our gifts for our place in the world, in some cases for our studies and for our gift of ministry. May we continue to reflect your faithfulness and your love as it has been reflected to us each and every day. May this be so, Lord. May this be so. And so, friends, again, I wish you peace and all goodness this day. We will continue to reflect on these lessons in this wonderful book and to learn about what Henri was able to share with Fred in this book about the life of one beloved by God. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.